Ask Reddit by Mount Everest 14. What high school stereotype did you fit into? The girl who reads a book in the corner. Why is this the most vague yet oddly well understood stereotype I've ever known? Kid that everyone knew but wasn't popular. That was me as well. I wasn't offensive, so no one wanted to kick me out when I'd hang out with them at like lunch, but I wasn't cool enough to hang with them outside of school either. The class clown what turns annoying after a while. I always had a crush on you and I knew you were sad but never said anything because I was too self-conscious. On the rare occasions you stopped cracking jokes because you were feeling extra down, I tried to connect and acknowledge all the good things about you that weren't related to your humor, but you were not interested in me because I was one of the invisible kids. The quiet kid trademark sign. The quiet kid that nobody remembers. No, seriously, I remember a lot of my high school classmates even 14-18 years later, but I doubt any of them remember me. The best friend of the main character who usually isn't that bright, often overlooked. That hurts. Background actor number 4. Now this is me. Generic jock. The kind that socialized with everyone that knew of me but never hanged out after school, and after all that though I wasn't that good in the sports I played in. I was smack dab in the middle. Good enough at sports to talk to the jocks, and I was smart enough and liked school enough to talk to the smart kids. The kid who thought she had friends but realized that she was mistaken when they all cut off ties after graduation. Now as an adult, I don't know how to make friends and am quite socially awkward. Hello, internet people. Same, but a couple still text me every now and then. I struggle to make permanent long-term friends because I DK whether we'll ever meet again once the one thing bringing us together is done. Loser. I don't miss high school. And, no, it didn't build character or make me the man I am today. It made me a hateful prick and it took years to grow out of that. I always thought I was more of a demotivated stoner, but maybe I was really just a loser all along. Nerd. Straight as Dungeons and Dragons. Virgin. Yeah. Straight as what? Bit of an anomaly TBF. I was the generic happy girl. Babysitting. Volunteering. Basically doing whatever I could to not be at home. My clothes looked like I was still a toddler. As with my hair. This is because I was being sexually abused and controlled at home. I'm sorry to hear that. I wanted to be anywhere else than home to be see the literal Disney stepmother, the evil kind. Hope you're doing better now. The smart troublemaker, instigated a lot of things, but got all A's in class. Maybe I was bored. Wow. Thank you for putting into words what niche I occupied. I was in all honors and AP level courses but would sneak out of school and come back on all kinds of substances. Went to all of the parties and also had to show up for the early morning job on weekends and clubs or preschool tutoring. My teachers would let me slam through exams and get a hall pass to the photography dark room. The wolf girl embarrassingly. As long as you no longer howl at the moon. Socially inept acne-ridden geek that had a drastic glow up halfway into high school, but never really noticed because I was so used to being undesirable. The introvert that looked like a drug dealer. Lol, I was the drug dealer that looked like a cop. The loner quiet kid. For me it was the quiet loner kid that people joked about being the school shooter when they thought I couldn't hear. Spoiler, I definitely heard. There were nerd smart guys. Bullies. Ones with anger issues. Nice guys simps. Loners quiet kids. As for me, I was the one who was just there. Doing nothing. Just being there. Nerdy quiet girl. Me too. I was literally paid to do homework by the rich stupid kids. I was so quiet, I don't think anyone noticed when I checked out of school to finish as a homeschooler. The happy-go-lucky kid that could hang out with the popular kids, the sporty kids, the stoners and the nerds. Basically a social butterfly. I was like that in elementary middle school but evolved backwards into the quiet kid. Junior year of high school I went through a tortured writer poet phase where I had an emo look and wrote terrible poetry that I posted on my Zanga. Here, http://imgur.com/a/pzfc is an album of some pictures I have saved from back then, which were all my Space Zanga profile pictures of course. Those are pretty embarrassing on their own, but even more embarrassing than that is the shitty poetry I wrote back then. Here, https://i.imgur.com/slmphpb.png is a screenshot of a folder with some of my poetry from back then to give you an idea of how cringy it was. Dude, kudos to you for posting actual proof of your cringiness. I am impressed by your courage, D. The school whore. Hi mum. In-betweener. Quiet loner autistic nerd. Could be worse. I was the autistic chameleon. I could match just about any personality and energy level, so could hang out with any group but not quite fit in. There was always that little part that felt off because it wasn't genuine. The loser group took me in because I could act like an emissary between groups to smooth out any conflicts. Most would say outcast or loner. Personally the quiet stoner. Same. The weird emo kid who sat under the stairs at lunch. Me too. Weirdo who was neither popular or unpopular. The quiet invisible outcast. I was bullied throughout high school, and just wanted to get out of there. Worst 4 years of my life. Most likely to not fuck up. I was the definition of a floater. I was equally loved, and probably hated, across all the stupid cliques. I was an art kid, an ESL misfit, a stoner skater. I was cool with the jocks, with the nerds. My girlfriend was in the orchestra, my homies were in detention. It was a fucking mess of a journey, but I made it. Generic white girl. How much Cheetos do you eat? That kid that always had a Rubik's Cube. Stoner. Me too, yo. Buff nerd. Nuff. The homeschooler. The boring, introverted one. Band geek. I'd say the normal kid. I wasn't really into any sort of activity. I attended all my classes and turned in all my homework. Got good grades, wasn't in any smart classes though. I hung out with a group of friends and just did my thing. Wasn't quiet in class, I participated when I could, but I wasn't ever the loud or annoying obnoxious one either. I'd like to think I was the background character lol. Very normal high school experience. Didn't do anything rebellious or wasn't super into school college either. The comedian who liked to make everyone else laugh, but only did it because they were secretly depressed inside. Probably the oh that kid. What did she do again back then? I hate high school. Quiet kid smart kid nerd. If I am just going by the different things I've been bullied for in school, then I am the ugly, chunky, quiet girl. This on top of being a quiet girl and also bullied for being a lesbian. Long before I knew I was, I might add. The creepy goth. The extremely handsome and incredibly intelligent guy with a dysfunctional sense of self-perception group. Generic geek and awkward kid. Skaters. The tryhard. Loner Reggie quiet kid. Yep, I didn't talk much, but half the things I said I wish I could take back. Friendly punching bag. The duff. Designated ugly fat friend. I was not an attractive teenager by any means, dumpy and plain. My best friend at the time was cool and funny and gorgeous, and she managed to land every single one of my crushes. The social butterfly. I was branded the future school shooter by my classmates. I had to get special permission to opt out of dissection in bio class because I couldn't cut up an animal without crying. But because I was a socially awkward goth, I got stereotyped. I don't miss high school in the slightest. The aesthetic one. UHH, the one worth cheating off of. Somewhere between the car guys and tech theater kids. I still work on my cars and got into carpentry around the house, so. Between the wrestling kids and the theater kids. The punk kid. Cool stoner athlete that had friends in the less popular kids and friends in the popular group as well. The high school sweetheart slol.